Okay, these are my mini mating nukes, and this nuke over here, there's a queen in it that hatched out 12 days ago, and I've been checking her every few days, and she hasn't been laying any eggs yet, but she's a big, healthy looking queen. And I reared another queen that is in the closest, the far right hive down there, and she started laying eggs when she was 12 days old, and I figured that was really fast to get out and mate sometime after a week old and then start laying eggs that quick. So she's doing really good, and she was only 12 days at the time when I saw that she was laying eggs. This one's 12 days old now, and I'm going to go in there and look and see if she's laying eggs. This one here hatched out about 4 days ago, and I haven't been in there to see her yet, but about 5 days ago I was in there, and there was the queen cell was chewed really thin at the base of it. The workers were getting it ready to hatch her out, or help her hatch out. So I'm going to leave these alone for another 5 or 6 days probably. I'll peek in every once in a while, make sure they still have resources. I can do that from the top. And I'm going to go in there and look at this queen and see if she's laying eggs yet. These totes have water in the bottom of them, about 1 or 2 inches of water, and then cinder blocks, and that keeps the ants out, because when I first set these mating nukes up, everything was going absolutely great. I hatched a queen out, or I hatched 2 queens out, and then the next day I went and just peeked at them from the outside, and there was just tons of ants. So I looked inside, and sure enough, every bee was either dead or gone. So I have to take real special care of these mini mating nukes to make sure that they don't get overrun by ants. These are made to put a jar feeder on this end, and they have a hole there with screen on the bottom of it for ventilation. It ventilates up into this, and then this has got holes to ventilate. So this queen was real big and healthy looking, and she is an Italian hybrid. They're starting to build a little bit of cross comb facing the wrong direction. It's just cross comb. They're building it sideways on the frame. That's the first time I've seen them do that in these hives. It's mid-July, and this late in the year, it's definitely not uncommon for them to not like plastic foundation. And they build on it kind of wonky, wacky, burr comb, cross comb, whatever you want to call it. So far I'm not seeing any eggs on that side. I'm not seeing any eggs on this side, but there's a lot of bees covering it. And here's my queen. She's very large, very healthy looking. I really like the size of her. She's walking around and looking in those cells. She's got her head stuck down in one there. That one was really full of nectar though. There's no reason for her to be checking it out too thoroughly. I'm not, oh wait, I do see eggs right behind where she walked. Absolutely, there's quite a few eggs in there. There are quite a few eggs in there. The bees are just covering up the cells as I try to look at them. I'm blowing on it a little bit to get them to move. There you go. There are a lot of eggs in here. The queen's on this far side. She's walking back and forth to the other side. I'm holding it down in the box like this because she's on the very bottom of the wood frame. Now she's on the corner, right there. So I'm going to put her back in there while she's still on the frame. This is the swarm cell that she hatched out of. Now, I cherry-picked this frame because the hive it came out of, it was an Italian hybrid. There's the queen right here. But the colony I pulled this frame from were swarmy, and they built a big, juicy-looking swarm cell, so I capitalized on it. Okay, I watched as I put it in there so I could keep an eye on the queen. But she hatched out of a real big, juicy looking swarm cell. And she turned out to be a big fat queen. It's starting to rain, so I'm going to close this back up. Coming down pretty good now.